So I did record this episode already, but I ended up having to re-record it because my phone died. Welcome to episode 8 of Manic Monday. Thank you for tuning in. And thanks you for supporting, subscribing, and viewing the videos. You guys are what keeps me going, or I probably wouldn't be so consistent with sharing. Um, so yeah, the next storyline that I'm going to talk about is the guy that I met on Facebook when I was 15. So when I turned 15, like it was maybe like a week or so after my birthday, I got like a bunch of unknown friend requests in my inbox, and this guy was just so happened to be one of the people I accepted just to accept, just to. This was back then when like it was cool to have a lot of friends, even if you didn't know who they are. This is the beginning of Facebook. This is before everybody became like smart and decided to only add people they know. So, anyways, I'm on Facebook. I get a message from him, and we start talking. So I'm finally like, "How old are you? Because you look like you're like 19 in your picture," and I'm like super young. And he's like, "Yeah, holla at me when you turn 18." So I was like, okay. So I thought I would never speak to this guy again. I thought I would never see him again. But I want to say after we moved, and then the March, this was the spring after all of that drama with my ex-boyfriend happened. So like January, I broke up with him on New Year's. Then I was like single. Before I turned 18, he found me on Facebook again. But the basis is he found me when I was 17, about to turn 18. And he's like, "I'm going to be in town. I want to see you, get to know you better, blah, 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 blah. I can't believe we're still friends." Like, he was like fascinated at the fact that we were still connected on Facebook. So I'm just like, okay. Um, so at first I was like blowing him off, like, "No, I don't think that's a good idea. I don't really know you. You could connect, making jokes like you could kidnap me, kill me, XYZ." This is back when I had a little bit of sense. And he's just like, "No, I'm not gonna do anything like that. Just like come see me for a few minutes and then that's it." So I was like, "Okay, I got you. I'm gonna see you right before it's time for me to go to work. You got 30 minutes to make a good impression," type shit. So I'm like, "Yeah, I gotta be at work at such and so. I'll stop by, but it's not gonna be that long." So I pull up. I'm like 17 at the time, so I'm driving the van to work, and I pull up, and he gets in the van. We start smoking, and then like we get to know each other. We're vibing, we're connecting, we got a lot in common. And then he's like making advances, like he wanted something to happen in the car, and I'm like, "No, I gotta go to work. This isn't a good idea." So I'm asking him questions like, "You don't have protection, do you? And aren't you supposed to go in the house? Like, aren't you expected somewhere? I got to go to work. I'm going to be late." Like, just like saying all types of things just to get him to be like, "Okay, she doesn't want it." And then, like, this is not a good idea, obviously. So I'm just going to stop. But he was just like playing up the fact that we had a connection and like, I don't know. So I finally told him, like, "Look, nothing's going to happen. I gotta go." So he's like, "Okay, that's fine. I'll text you later." At this point, he's sending me like 30 text messages, and we're exchanging them back and forth, like, ooh, you know, how people talk when they're being dirty. So, um, I was just like, "No, I don't think I could." And he's like trying to convince me, and like he's complimenting my body and things like. So I'm just like, okay, whatever. Start blowing him off again. I'm thinking because he was like in like not the army, but he was in one of those branches when I was seeing him. So he would often get like shipped off or he would have to leave. So I'm thinking like I can just stall him until he has to leave and then I don't have to worry about it. Because I was attracted to him, but I didn't want to immediately have sex with him. So then he invited me to like this get together so I could get to know his friends and meet his roommates. So I was like, okay, whatever. That same day, my car breaks down at work. It was like a Thursday or a Friday night. And I'm like, I can't call my brother because he has to close his store. They work later than I do. So I'm expected home earlier than he is, you know. So I'm like, who do I call? And this guy was like, he had mechanical skills. So I was just like, well, I might as well call him because I know he has a car. He's gonna be on the pull up, especially if he thinks he's gonna get some, you know. So I'm like, I can't call my mom because she definitely doesn't have any tow money. I just had to beg her for gas to get to work. So it was just like a bad situation, you know. And he had mechanical skills, so it just made sense. So I called him, and about 30 minutes to an hour go by. He pulls up. He did something under the hood. It started finally. So I'm just like, thanks. I'll see you later. Trying to hurry up and get out of there because I already know what conversation is coming next. And he's like, no, 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 wait. I'm not on that. Just come by, smoke, chill, then you can, go home because I know you got to get home. He's like, call your people first. So I, of course, called them, let them know what was going on. They were like, okay, just be home by XYZ. Okay, got it. I can do that. I follow him to his crib. We smoke, we chilling, and here he go again with the advances. And I'm just like, I don't know, like I did made this mistake before. Hello, ex-boyfriend. I trusted too quickly, gave it up, instantly regretted it. So I'm just like gonna take my time. And then I also didn't take him as like relationship material, so that it was like I had to make a conscious decision of whether I was gonna approach him on a relationship level or just booty call the nigga. So yeah, he ended up inviting me over that weekend because of the get together. So I came and I already knew because I wasn't obliged. I had to make a conscious, courteous exchange. The least I can do is show up and meet his people, if you fix my car for free. And I didn't give him no hanky panky. So I show up and I'll be friendly and I'll say hi to everybody. But that's it. So I show up and I'm like in the bathroom, like fixing my makeup or something. I was really heavy on the eyeliner and the mascara back in the day. So I believe I was like fixing my eyeliner or something. And, he came in to check on me. One thing led to another. His advances worked that time. I'll say that. So I was like 17 at the time. He was like 21, 20, 21, 20. No, he's 21. He's buying liquor. So he's like 21 or 22 years old. The point is he was older, much older. And it happened several times. So like he pretty much ended up having me meet him like every weekend. And then it even turned into like a couple like weekdays that I would be there. Like I just overstayed my welcome type thing. I would like get there Saturday morning and wouldn't leave till like Monday morning. And sometimes he would take me to school. So he became like a huge part of my daily life, like in March and April, because he allowed me to have my birthday party at his house. So that was like, it was weird because then he would say things like, don't take it too serious. We're just seeing each other for that. We're not each other's property. Like he would say stuff like that. But then he would also say like, oh, I'm going to have a concubine and you're going to be my first wife on the first floor. Just quirky things to make me feel like I was special, even though he would remind me constantly that we weren't a thing. And I'm like, it's fine. I didn't take you for the relationship type, so I'm not worried. But that chemistry on that level is nice. And then it's also like, it got so bad to the point where like, even after he met my parents, like he came over in the uniform and my mom was smitten. My stepdad was impressed. Everybody loved him. They ate it up. So like the age difference just didn't matter to them after they saw how astute he was. We even shared a moment that day. Like we sat on the roof, the trunk of his car and like watched the sunset. Like we would do things like that. But then he would turn around and be like, but you're not my girl. Okay, cool. You don't have to remind me. Like I know. And then like, but it got so bad to the point where sometimes I would lie and be like, oh, it's my friend's house that I'm staying at, or she's sleeping in her friend's house and we're going to go over there and spend, like, I would say stuff like that just to go see him and stay. Like, it was bad. It was really bad. We spent a lot of time together, like a lot of time. Like I wasn't seeing anybody else and I was hoping that he wasn't, but that was soon to be confirmed as negative, because he ended up like needing something that I couldn't provide to him, because I was like driving my stepdad and his players to like Braidwood, to practice and play games and stuff. So I advised him to like call my brother and my brother's friend, which is the guy that took, my virginity. He's back in town. He's on vacation from trade school. So they were like tight that spring. So I'm, driving my stepdad wherever he needs to go, and then I'm doing homework. So I'm not seeing him as much towards the end of March. So my brother's friend goes over there, the guy that took my V card, and after his visit, apparently something hectic happened, because he instantly started blowing up my phone. Like, you need to call me, you need to text me, but I'm driving. And then I was one of those people, like I told you, like when I'm dedicated to something, like I'm serious. Like I was serious with my religion, and I was definitely serious with traffic safety. Okay, because they showed me a traumatizing video in the DMV class of the semi trucks running people over. So yes, I'm cautious. So no, I was looking at my phone, and then I had an Android back then. Battery died super quick. So I mean, you check Facebook and you might as well say bye-bye to that battery. My phone was on the whole time I drove, so it was pretty much dead by the time I got to the football field, because those trips were like right after school. I had like 30 minutes to an hour to like prepare to drive. Like there was no time to grab chargers, snacks, nothing. So whatever. He tells me he has to talk to me when I get home. Okay, cool. Get there, get home, and I'm thinking to myself, like, oh, he's gonna give me another bullshit speech about how he's not, like, I'm tired of dudes reminding me that they're not interested, but they still desire me. Like, I'm sick of this narrative. So, I'm playing it up in my head, and he's like, I got something to tell you. And I'm like, what? Spit it out. He's like, no, it's not funny. And I'm like, okay. Because it's hard for me not to smile sometimes. I'm like, okay, what is it? And he's like, when I went over there, he didn't let me in the house. It smelled like Badussi, and it was a female calling out to him. And I said, huh? So now, mind you, his roommates included his male friend and his male friend's girlfriend. He said that there weren't any new cars outside, but there was that stench coming from the house. So, come to find out, in future relations with this guy, he was screwing his roommate's girlfriend. Yeah, let that soak in. Let that soak in. Screwing his roommate's girlfriend, and not only her, but apparently 2 to 3 other females. So it goes without saying, the signs of that. I was coming over last, like I said. I even like reserved a graduation ticket for him. It got to the point where like I wasn't seeing him at his home, so I would like make an excuse, like make a meal for him, or like make a sandwich, like a snack or something for him at work, because his job was close to my house, just to go see him. Like I would take him food in like hopes that he would invite me over again one day. Like it got that pathetic. Like I was like, I'm kind of pathetic now, but when I was younger, I was like real pathetic. Like it's sad. It was like one night, this was like the lowest of the lowest point in my life. Me and my friends, we were out partying one weekend. It was maybe like 3 weeks out from graduation. So it was like the very end of April, maybe the beginning of May. Because I think we graduated May 4th or May 5th. I got to find my graduation ticket. It's around here somewhere, but yeah, so it was sometime in late April, early May, whatever, you get it. So we're out partying, we're rolling, we're drunk, we're high. So like we chilling. And it got to that point in the night where it was late and everybody's like, where are you going? You going home? You going to somebody else's house? You spend the night with us? What's up? So everybody started, picking out guys. And I'm like, okay, I can go see my dude too. We had already originally planned to get together this weekend anyway. But it was like 1:32 in the morning, so it was like too early. You know what I'm saying? So she drops me off. We pull up. I'm thinking I got a loyal friend that's gonna wait till I actually enter the domain and then pull off. These heifers left me there. So I'm knocking, no answer. I go around to his window, because like now you have to answer, because I'm out here in the dark, vulnerable, alone. So I'm knocking on the window. I'm like, I know he's here. The car is here. There's 3 of y'all in the house. Somebody hear me knocking on this door. What if I'm the police? What if I'm the firefighters? But anyways, you get the point. Nobody was answering. So finally, he comes to the door, shirtless, with his sheets wrapped around him. Hey, you gotta go right now. I don't even know why you're here. Can I use your phone? Can I borrow some sugar? So I told him the situation. I'm like, look, I don't want no problems. I just need to use the phone. My friends left me. I'm by myself. Okay. So he gives me a lecture about how irresponsible I am. And then he goes and gets his phone. He closes the door in my face and leaves me on the porch. Yeah, he didn't even invite me in to like at least on the couch so I can get out the, you know what I'm saying? He left me on the porch like I was a trash bag. Gave me his phone, and I'm like, wow, after this I'm never fucking with him again. You know, because you just know. So I'm calling her. She doesn't answer. I call her sister's phone. They don't answer. And I don't have any phone service at this time, so I'm Wi-Fi hopping. And you know, y'all don't know nothing about that today because y'all got phone service. Back then, if you ain't had no phone service, you was hopping Wi-Fi everywhere you went. And if you was traveling, you wouldn't get no notifications. So, long story short, she doesn't answer. Her sister doesn't answer. And he's not letting me in the crib. So I walk to the next party that I heard them talking about that they might. Yeah, you heard me right. I walked. Yeah, he wasn't offering rides or nothing. It was like he was on some big fuck me shit. So whatever, I get to walking all the way across town, maybe 5-10 miles on foot in heels, and I forgot what else I had on, but I was like walking through the dark of the night, 2-3 in the morning, like fully dressed to party. Like it was so sad. I was pissed at the world. Finally get to the party. Thank God she was there because they were talking about not going, in the car. So I just happened to find the place, A, and B, find them in the party. You don't know how relieved I was to see them. Like I was pissed, but I was pissed more at him than I was at them. Like I was angry and I was super sad. Like I just wanted to go home and bury my head under this pillow. Like I didn't even care about anything anymore. I was just relieved I saw them. I was relieved that I saw them because it meant that I wasn't gonna die. It meant that I was gonna be able to go home and cry in peace. So, the next morning I ended up spending the night at their house because the van wasn't starting again. So I'm like, fuck everything right now. Let's just try again tomorrow. I'm gonna have to explain to my parents what's going on. So I ended up doing that, spent the night at her house, wake up to a foot-long message from him about how I should have known better. I need to pick better friends. I was an embarrassment last night. I should be ashamed of myself. And then he ended it with, I was upset with you, but that don't mean that I don't like you or don't want to be around you. He softened it up a little bit, but he pretty much tore me a new one. And I was just like, why wouldn't you let me in? I start asking him questions. And he starts deflecting. And then he sets a little honey trap and I fall for it. Come over after work. We need to talk. That type of thing. And of course I went. Because I didn't want to stop talking to him. And apparently I was super desperate. So, whatever. So, like I said, graduation was like May 4th. So I give him a ticket. I get sick right before graduation. I think it was like 6 or 7 days right before graduation. I didn't think I was going to be able to walk. I didn't think I was going to be able to take my exams because I was throwing up like green slime. It was so bad. I had a gastric, what do you call that? I don't know. Something with my stomach and my digestive system made me sick. So I didn't see him during the whole time I was sick. So like I'm at home, I'm on medication, I'm taking my like my homework assignments sometimes for my brother. Some days I would try to go to school, end up leaving early because I just couldn't take, like it was bad. I was really, really, really sick. Graduation comes in like 2 or 3 days maybe. And I'm updating him on how I feel and what's going on. And he just stops responding out of nowhere. Drive by his house, Nobody's there. Like the curtains are gone, the car is gone. It looks vacant, and it's like a for rent sign being taped up on the window. Like I was so confused and hurt because it's like he didn't say anything at all. He just disappeared off the face of the earth. Another Casper. Like I was pissed. So he didn't show up, and then I also invited my dad, and my dad didn't show up. So it was just like a double whammy to the gut there that day. It was terrible. And then I think my family members got to arguing during my graduation dinner. It was so bad. Um, and then I just pretty much lost like a lot of respect for myself. I really started to see myself. I started to devalue myself. Long story short, mental name calling. It's just, I was like a mess. I was a mess. And then, so I go to this graduation. Was it a graduation or no? It was a prom party for a different high school in town. So me and the guy that took my virginity, my brother used to leave him his car when he would go to work, so he could do whatever it is he do. I don't know, but he started like hanging around me like he was my chaperone or something. So I always tried to think of things for us to do because I didn't want to be stuck alone with him. So one of these things was a prom party. So we go, and that's where I meet my next boyfriend. And then, believe it or not, once that relationship started, that's when I start hearing from Mr. Casper again. And that'll be in the next episode. Thanks for tuning in.